We are now coming to the end of 2024, which means one thing. Christmas dinner, okay, two things. Christmas dinner and the new driver releases on the horizon in January. However, today I have two of the 2025 drivers that we have already seen. We have the Tour Edge Exotics C725 driver and of course the Titleist GT2 driver. So we know that these are going to be amongst some of potentially the best and the best budget drivers of 2025. The Titleist GT2 driver will set you back £579 RRP and the Tour Edge driver £323. So quite a big difference in price there. Now I've picked these two because there are of course families of the Tour Edge Exotics 725 series and there's a GT2, GT3, GT4 options. I think these kind of go head to head nicely, and as you'll see they're both that kind of low mid spin model. So I've got both of them in a hazardous 6.0 shaft and they're exactly the same. So which one's going to perform best and what driver are you looking forward to the most in 2025? I can't believe I'm saying that. We know we're going to have options from Ping, from TaylorMade, from Callaway, from PXG, Cobra. It's all kicking off. First of all, I have the GT2 driver. Let's see just what we can do down here. So today we're going to talk tech about these clubs and see what potentially is going to be so special in 2025. 10K was the big story in 2024. What's going to be the big marketing term in 2025? Guys, get in the comments below and I'm going to have some conversations with you. Give me your best marketing term that you think is going to be happening in 2025, because I think it's going to be sloth-like agility.
Oh, nobody wants that, do they?
Nobody wants that, do they? I think he's somewhere. Yeah, he's there. You can hear him, right. GT2, lovely looking head. It's got that Therafoam crown. That one. Feels totally different to the previous generation of Titleist. And that's a lovely big high fade. Just on the right side, a little bit towy. I say a little bit towy. One of the things that you can see, probably couldn't see it for the zoom, that's where I struck that from. Isn't it ridiculous how kind of wild you can see that actually on there? But if we now go with Tour Edge, I'm going to put this out there, and this is a little bit wild, Bobby, but if I get that mud off there, which one do you prefer the look of on top most? I think it totally depends on just how traditional you are. I think if you're a traditionalist, you'll like the Titleist GT, but if not, I think the Tour Edge looks phenomenal, especially for that saving of, what, £250? That's a big old saving, isn't it? Especially if you're going to be buying potentially a full new set of clubs in 2025. Let's try and put a similar swing on this and see just what we can get. Right, love that carbon effect on top. Tour Edge really moving the needle with that. And actually that one's gone a little bit left, but if I show you the strike location, I say a little bit left, it's not really, it's just in the semi-rough near the 150 marker, but strike location, I've really done my best to get us some very consistent strikes there. So let's get down there, see where they are, and also let's talk tech for these two drivers. Is one of them going to be the best driver of 2025 before we've even seen the Callaway, the TaylorMade, the Ping, the Cobra, and all the big names that's yet to come? Which one do you have at Christmas table? I have to clean its hands. Always like to give marks for head cover game as well, because head covers are a big thing when you're spending money. Which one do you prefer? They're very similar actually in the black, the red and the white, aren't they? I'm going to go with...
Too similar.
I'm going to go with the Titleist because there's less text on it, just GT. It doesn't tell you which model you've got either, which I quite like as well. There's less stuff that can go wrong. Titleist. So guys, as you can see, we have the Tour Edge Exotics driver just past the 150 marker in the left-hand rough, and we have the Titleist just past the 150 marker in the right-hand rough. So realistically, gone the same distance, two very similar strikes, one of them geared open, the other one just stayed closed. Hard to differentiate there what the best one was, but I have to say, feel-wise, the Tour Edge probably sounded that little bit better. Bobby, think fast. Now, when it comes to tech stories for both these drivers, the list is endless, and the Tour Edge Exotics C725 features an abundance of technology to potentially help your game. So we know that this club does feature the flight tuning system. That's the 2-tier front to back weight system with a back weight that's easily able to move, draw, neutral or fade. The C725 driver comes with a standard 15 gram weight in the front and a 5 gram weight in the back that allows for both extreme MOI and flight spin manipulation. We also have that 360 Ridgeback technology, and that acts as a brace for the entire club head to produce more power across the entire face, including extreme parameters, which is pretty much what we saw on that opening shot from the toe. We also have the power channel right at the bottom that does help us with those lower face strikes to generate more ball speed and lower spin. Not to mention the 3D diamond face. That is an all new face made up of three-dimensional dynamic shapes of variable face thickness, very similar to what we've been seeing in such as the Callaway and the Cobra drivers. We also have a finned internal ribbon that's designed to upgrade the acoustic engineering and give us a greater sound, and also that super low back mid CG. So as you can tell there, lots and lots. I had to check it because I didn't want to get it wrong for you, but the list is absolutely endless with it, isn't it? So Bobby, if you'd like to hold that, let's tee off with this Tour Edge Exotics. And you see, when we talk tech about the Titleist, yes, there is some, but I feel like Tour Edge certainly have made the bigger leap from the C723, I got it right, to the C725. Right. The acoustic ribbon's probably one of the big things, because although we might be talking about marginal gains with technology on such as the 3D diamond face and that lovely carbon crown and the Ridgeback 360 technology and that movable weighting, you can see what I mean by this. You can see how they've made sure that you know just how much technology is on that face, and of course both of them do feature an adjustable loft sleeve as well. So a nice low one into the wind would be nice here. And that is one of the best drives I've hit on this hole all year. And it's December next week. I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the feel, really enjoyed the sound. For me, for the money, when we start talking about kind of 300-ish pounds and change, how much more do you want? Does it have to be really good? Or does it just have to not be bad? Which is an interesting logic. Now, when it comes to tech for the Titleist GT2, we've already mentioned that seamless Therafoam crown, which I've managed to say right first time there. And as you can see, that is actually made of kind of really, it's not titanium anymore. You can hear that. I'm going to put this out there. After spending time with the GT2, the GT3 and the Fairway Woods, I don't think it sounds as good as last year's, as the TSR range or even the TSI range. They sounded phenomenal for me, and Titleist have obviously been chasing that kind of enhanced ball speed and of course aerodynamics, but they've maybe given up a little bit of that kind of audio feedback, which so many golfers like, some golfers don't care about. So it's going to be totally objective. Subjective? Objective. What's objective?
Like something that's
set in stone.
not, yeah,
Subjective. Cheers, Bobby. Right. Can we hit this? See, if this flies 15 yards past the Tour Edge, no one's going to care, are they? Essentially. Right, this is going to be interesting because they're exactly the same. Like to the T, maybe a little bit more cut on the Titleist, but they should be very close together. You know what really pisses me off about the Titleist? T-marks. I lent this someone. Some of them are mine. I don't use white tees because of this reason generally with this club. But they're so hard to get off, like impossible to get off. And if I'd paid £575, I'd be really annoyed. Bah! Right, Titleist ball here, right hand side of the fairway, did have a little bit more cut on it. Certainly didn't maybe sound and feel as good as the Tour Edge. Tour Edge is up there, Bob. A lot straighter flight, didn't have as much movement on it. Felt like two very similar golf swings. I'm going to give them a half on the first. I'm going to give this second hole the Tour Edge. Let's jump inside, let's see what differences we see inside, and let's finish this on the 18th hole to see just what potentially could be the best driver of 2025 already. Or is this going to be something better? Do you think there's something better?
Maybe.
Maybe. So having spent some time with both of these drivers already in 2024, I kind of knew what to expect when it came to the numbers. Rather interestingly, I haven't been swinging that well recently, and I'm quite at peace with that, to be honest. So it's quite nice to test these drivers for the forgiveness elements. Now, as you can see, I really put the drivers through the paces still. I hit lots and lots of shots just to see potentially what differences we would see. And potentially, I did see a little bit of a difference in that I could get a lower spin with the Titleist GT2. I could certainly maybe squeeze it out there a little bit longer, but the Tour Edge certainly did react nicely, and it didn't have as much movement on it if you're looking to hit more fairways in the setting that was in. When it came to the numbers, the Titleist performed a little bit better. We did get a tiny bit more ball speed with the GT2, but then the spin rate was more optimum with it as well. So for me, I think looking at it, it's very difficult to separate these two drivers, especially for that price. But the GT2 probably did perform that a little bit better. Okay, bottom of the ninth, bases are loaded and we're in overtime. That's about as many sports things as I can handle to give you. Which one's going to do best down this 18th hole? We're going to open the shoulders up, try and take the corner on just a little bit. I'm going to go Titleist first this time because I feel like, well, we went Tour Edge first last time. Let's just try and square this up a little bit, keep that spin axis nice and neutral. Head shape wise, the GT2 does remain nice and traditional like a Titleist should. See, for a towy one, Rob, that's that high toe again. I feel like the forgiveness element there is really, really good. Probably second to none or second to few. There again, look. Let's just cut to the chase. Those T marks are mine, Rob, aren't they? Those T marks are mine. Right. Can the diamond face help us? But I do feel like I hit the Titleist toey more often than other drivers that I test. And they're identical again. I can't wait to see the differences in them, because if I show you the strike location here again, identical, isn't it?
No.
It's the same, because it's the same shaft, Rob, so it's a fair test. You can see we have the Tour Edge driver safely in the fairway, and back next to Bobby we have the Titleist that we hit first. So two very similar strikes, two very similar shots. Again, hard to kind of pick anything out here on the golf course with the time of year and how they're going to bounce, but I think it's fair to say for the price, there's one winner, isn't there?
Big pass. Well, there's no need for that.